Hello, good morning everybody. My name's Patric. I hope you all had a lovely evening in Alicante, Spain. It's very nice. If you didn't get a chance, have a swim in the sea. It's actually quite warm. All food experts. Okay, I have to stay close to the microphone, I believe. No, that's okay. I have a question for you all. Is there anybody in the room who does not believe that we live in a knowledge-based economy? It's a simple question. It's an easy audience for me to ask this question because you're all doctors, right, and PhDs. But we are. We live in a knowledge-based economy. I have another question for you. So why do we fire and early retire all of our senior food technicians and technologists? Why do we do that? I understand, that clashes. That doesn't fit with the first statement I made. And you all agree with it, though you're all very shy and no one will admit it. Everybody agrees we live in a knowledge-based economy. Yet we early retire our senior food technicians just because they're slightly more expensive than the younger ones. And I didn't like that. I don't like that. I think that's wrong. I think society cannot afford to lose that knowledge, which is why I built an open innovation community. Okay. Very quickly, lots of studies prove that open innovation will speed up the innovation rate. I've seen this over and over. I get to visit a lot of the world's largest food companies, and they are stuck in their box. Dare I even suggest quite a few of you are also stuck in your own boxes. And actually, it's one of the reasons why you come here. It's to get out, and it's to get to talk to other people outside of your facilities. This is very attractive to business people. Companies can fix their problems, nearly always. It's just a question of time and resources. But their list of needs is always longer than their list of resources, and that's where we fit in. Very quickly, what is All Food Experts? Okay. We are a community of food technologists. We provide faster open innovation results. And we are only interested in real-world business needs. The reason for this is the business model. This is a success fee-based model. That is, that the food company does not pay until they have received the applied solution. I have 3 children. They like to eat every day. That means I have to be quite strict on looking for real-world business solutions. We don't find a scientific discovery and try and find a problem for it. We go talk to businessmen and we ask them what their problems are. I'll talk about some of the examples at the end. Okay, this is what makes us attractive to our community. It's free to be a member. I say this a lot. Free does not mean it has zero value. Value and free are 2 different things. What that means is I reject about 2/3 of our applications to be members. We are looking for a minimum of 10 years proven food industry experience to become a member. It's a minimum. And the average experience is closer to 20 years. We give our members the opportunity to participate in interesting projects. I'll talk about those in a bit. One of the things we discovered, one of the very first members of my community is ex-president of Danisco. Does anyone in this room not know who Danisco is? Right, okay. I managed to get an ex-president of Danisco to join the community. And he had a problem. He didn't know how to connect his computer to his printer. And I suddenly realized that a lot of our senior technicians had always worked in very large companies where they had considerable back office support. And when they left that environment, they lost the back office support. So we provide it for them. We have a 24-hour phone call system to India, IT support, etc. Simple little things that make us attractive for senior food technicians to come and join our community. I didn't realize this would be popular, but it is. They sure like us promoting their speeches and their publications, and we do it rather well. We're working on this. Why would extensive networking be interesting? Well, because we have ex-presidents of Danisco, ex-board members of Pepsi and Coca-Cola, head of R&D of Campbell's. The list is very long. And I thought that one would be a success, latest news on food innovation, and they don't care. So we're not going to do that anymore. I thought this would simply be something they'd like. They don't. Lesson learned. Everybody has their own sources for news. Don't try to become it. Okay, why do companies choose us? It's a success fee-based model. They do not pay unless they receive the solution applied directly to their problem. We are unique in the innovation space with this model. Unique. We have the largest food industry open innovation community. We have an exquisite level of expertise. I was unaware that this would be a problem, but it became a problem, so we had to adjust our processes. Some companies, might seem obvious now, don't want to admit in public that they have a problem. That kind of goes against the rub of the open innovation culture, but that's fine. It's their challenge. We will give them complete control over how we publish, who reads it, who gets it. Okay, this is out of date. We're closer to 1,100 members now, and we did this 3 months ago. We're starting to grow very nicely now. We capture 2 or 3 every day. Started in Western Europe, we're spreading. Oceania, only 27, so please become the 28th. Okay, it's not 18. When I signed up for here, it was 17,000 years. It's now 21,000 years worth of accumulated experience. That's a hell of a lot. To put this into context, the world's largest food company, Nestlé, has 5,500 food technologists. And they provide food for 1.7% of the world. It's taken them over 150 years to get 5,500 food technologists. We've got 1,100 and something in 3. Our aim is to get 2,000 by the end of the year. And by 2016, I really, really want to achieve 5,501. I want one more than Nestlé does. Our experience. Okay, this is what I've learned running an open innovation community for 3 years. Maturity curve. Okay. The maturity curve of innovation. I have learned that the larger the company, the maturer they have to be on innovation to do open innovation. The smaller the company, the earlier in their innovation curve will they go down the open innovation route. Oh yes. To all of you who are innovation tenures, C-level, C-suite, Chief Executive Officer, Chief of Marketing, Chief of Finance, Chief Innovation Officer. The Chief Innovation Officer has the shortest lifespan of any C-suite job in corporate America. They last 2 years and 2 months on average. Head of Marketing, Chief of Marketing, 5 years and a bit. Head of Finance, 7 years. If you take out the 3 years, the 3 months of a new job, you're getting your feet under the desk, and the 3 months at the end of the tenure where you're not making any decisions to upset the next guy, you're actually talking about a little more than a year and a half. So if any of you are dealing with a Chief Innovation Officer in any food company, hurry up. They're not going to be in their job for very long. Value is tangible and intangible. When you run a digitally based, worldwide community, it's not all about money. Money is a key factor, yes. So is recognition. So are basic human values. I have a small example. How much time do I have left? How much time do I have left? ¿Cuánto tiempo tengo? How much time do I have left?
More or less 10 minutes.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, I have a little story. 3 years ago, Gulf Food. We met a Pakistani businessman. He runs a jelly bear factory out of Islamabad, Pakistan. And he had a problem. He'd bought a new machine and it wasn't behaving well with his flavorings. And the jelly bears were off. Neither the machinery maker nor the flavorings company would admit or even take care of the problem. This individual had a whole product line stopped. He gave us the challenge. We published it on a Friday afternoon. Monday morning, we had an extremely long email, a kilometre-long email from an English gentleman who'd worked 40 years in Femmerich, who knew the flavouring because it was one of his, who knew the machine because he'd worked with it for 20 years, and he gave us a step-by-step, I will repeat, he gave us a step-by-step guide to how to fix the problem. Why did he do that? Because there's pleasure in sharing what we know. I'm going to repeat that. There is pleasure in sharing what we know. And it's even better when that knowledge is valued. What did we do? We sent the solution to the Pakistani businessman. He applied it. We sent him a bill for 30,000 euros. He paid it. And we sent a check for 25,000 euros to the English gentleman who was retired. He didn't expect the check. I then discovered that he'd semi-retired to the countryside outside of Paris, and he was making very bad French wine. I know it's very bad because he sent me a crate of it as a thank you for the check. The lesson here is it's not just about the money. When you're dealing with senior technicians, money obviously has a factor and a role to play. But there are so many other human, soft aspects that are equally important. Okay, I'm going to very quickly go through our process. We capture challenges, we revise the challenges. We don't publish all of the challenges. Remember that I said it's free, but free doesn't mean it has no value. We reject most of our challenges. Why? Because we consider them moon shots or Mars shots. We're not interested in that. We are looking for real pain points inside the industry. We revise, we then publish onto the platform. What basically happens is someone in the platform will just pick up their hand and say, hey, I can do that, or I've done it, or I know how to do it, but in my past job they never allowed me to prove how to do it. That happens quite a lot, by the way. We take a basic briefing from those members and we publish it to the community. The community filters and makes sure that we're not going down the wrong roads. We aren't suggesting stupid solutions. The community controls. The challenger, the company with a problem, will sign a contract with the community member, not with all food experts. They get the job done. If we can help them, we help them. The company pays the community member, and it is only then that the community member will pay me my commission. So I'm very, very interested in things happening quite fast. Okay, we use Imaginatic. I'm not sure if any of you use innovation software. About 3 years ago, I went to Silicon Valley and I traveled around and I looked at all of the big players, Spigot, Mindjet, Hype, there are several. These are the ones I chose. Basically, the platforms, they're all the same. They all have the same bells and whistles, the same functionalities. I just liked their consultancy offering that went with it. Okay, some examples of what we do. Retortable packaging pouch for meat. Extended shelf life of meat, freshly cut meat. Bakery, oh, I love this one. This is a great example of something of how we are growing. A Middle Eastern gentleman, very successful businessman, wants to enter the bakery business in the Middle East. It has to do with his diversification strategy, and he comes to us and he says, I want you guys to lead this project. So the first thing we do is we go out and we look for a master baker, someone with the core formulation skills, and we found the ex-master baker of Al Marai. Al Marai is the Middle East's largest bakery company, and he is happily retired, or was happily retired until I got my hooks into him, and he was living in Cyprus, just living by the coast very happily. He's now running this project for us. We've almost finished the negotiations with the German machinery suppliers. We're doing the whole project. I didn't expect that. I didn't realize it would become business development. I thought it would be hardcore science-based solutions. Again, Egypt's largest vegetable cooperative, very, very large, came to us because they want to freeze dry. So we are getting on with that. We've done some fun stuff. 3D food printing. Any of you done anything in 3D food printing? Nothing. Okay, I like it. I mean, I find that sexy. I can't help it. It's an interesting thing for me. Foodini is a startup company in Barcelona, Spain, and they were 3D food printing is cheating right now. They're extruding a paste, okay? And that's what Foodini does. Their business model is they're going to sell you the paste capsules. But they were having a problem with the stabilizer. It wasn't maintaining the foam structure. Something was wrong with the pectin. We sent them a formulator. They fixed the problem, and problem done. Result, 2 days' work, I think it was. Nothing. It was 3,000 euros worth of consultancy fee for the consultant. That got quite a lot of press coverage. About 4 weeks later, 3 weeks later, NASA called me. That was quite cool. NASA called because they were interested in 3D printing a pizza in space. So we had a look at that. And the solution we went after, we didn't want to do the paste extrusion, because paste extrusion means you're carrying too much liquid up into space. The paste is hydrated. So we actually looked at a three-step process, which was cartridges, HP. We spoke to HP. HP has a very large, their European R&D laboratories are in Girona. So we spoke to them about how can you get food powders into cartridges. The extrusion was simple. Where we completely failed to come up with a solution or find anyone who could help was you need a tube that hydrates and can heat the powder as it passes through to then become the paste that you extrude. And we failed to find anyone who could do that for us. So NASA's gone back to basically looking at how to take tubes of paste up into space. And we didn't want to do that. We've done some interesting things. Sadly, I have to rush. I have to give a conference in Madrid at 2:30. Peter, could you stand up a second, please? I'm sorry, Peter. Peter Olsen is at the back there. He is the platform manager. If any of you have any questions, you can ask me directly now because I'm still here for a few minutes. But if you're too shy to ask them in public, go and find Peter during the coffee breaks and have a chat to him. Thank you very much for your time. I just want you to know that I believe the knowledge that you have, your intellectual property, is very valuable. My function is to find real-world challenges that fit that. So if any of you would like to join, please join. It's free. And you may be very surprised with some of your community member colleagues. Thank you very much for your time. I'm very grateful. Any questions, or are we all just too shy? Okay, we are too shy. I hope you have a lovely 2 days in Alicante. Okay, goodbye.